Hey guys, it's me, Kisame Unlimited.
And Yama.
And today we're doing an episode of Toot and Boot, and I'm actually taking a page out of your book because he's been telling me that I should be reviewing 2 cards at once instead of just one. So we're going to make this close to the Bandless Banter segment, and we're going to be tooting and booting 2 cards that we want to talk about. Now, the card that's recent that I want to talk about is going to be Regretful cards.
And the card that I want to talk about is Fuya Sakura, Drifting Spirit of Winter Blossoms.
Okay, so now we're going to get into each card and we'll give our reasons for tooting and booting each card. Now, let's get on into this. Now, Regretful cards. It's a continuous spell card and its effect is the hand size limit of each player becomes 3. Now, I sat down and thought about it for a while and I was very iffy both ways because there are reasons why it's good and reasons why it's bad. But the best way I could describe this is that when people understand why I'm so harsh to cards is that Konami makes around 100 new cards every 3 months, and everyone has a 40-card deck of engines that we all play, and we have very rare room for side decks and for just random text. So I have to judge this card as a single tech that could be put in anything, and if it's worth going over other
Well,
decks.
let's talk about the positives first. This card can what? What can it do?
Well, this card cuts off your opponent from.
Well, it cuts off your hand too, right?
Yes, but that's where they try to get you. They try to get you because there are decks like Dark Worlds, Infernities, Infernoids.
Well, when you dump the card to the grave, you get stuff.
Yeah, a lot of some. I don't want to say a lot, but a few decks out there in the game can really abuse the factor of not having a hand.
Isn't it
like
impossible to summon Exodia with this?
Actually, yes. This card is probably the perfect side deck against Exodia. However, the one thing is, honestly, at the end of the day, it really isn't, because I'm pretty sure this card's effect only activates towards the end phase. So if you're still facing an FTK Exodia, it still could
still
happen.
draw the cards, yeah.
So it's not the perfect thing, but it's a good thing for decks like I said, Dark Worlds, Infernoids. But I'm going to state this right now. I am going to boot it first. Now, what are you going to do?
I'm going to boot it.
You're
because
boot
I
it too?
don't... Well, here's the thing.
Well, I'll let you give your reasons for booting it before I go into
I
mine.
kind of want to boot it because I feel like it's not... I don't think it's a good card because I feel like unless you're playing... Like, so even when I play, like,
you see, you know what's a good example? You know how, like, out of, like, all the decks you play, you know what card this card could fuck up out of your decks? Arome Mages. Because you're plussing every minute with fucking Jasmine and Moist Wind. But if I did that, you're only cut to having 3 cards in your hand per end phase.
But then there are
But they don't state that towards the end phase. But
there are some cards that make that there are some decks that this could work in, but I just don't see why you would want to have 3 cards in your hand. I just don't get it.
These are the reasons why I'm booting it. Because no matter what someone could say to sway my opinion is this. These days we have Twin Twisters. And there are many, many times these days where when you're using Twin Twisters, I am forced in a lot of situations using Twin Twister, discarding a card to only target 1 spell card because my opponent doesn't have 2 cards face down or just 2 scales, and I'm just like waiting for something that I just can't wait out for. And this is one of those cards where if it's just a lane target there, it could just easily get knocked out, and then Galaxy Cyclone's still a thing, and it could take out cards like these with ease. And at the same time, the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to a card like this is that no matter what happens, the opponent can read your opponent and say, okay, if I'm facing a person, they drop that against me, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to throw all my plays onto the table, and I'll just set a lot of back row. I'm not going to leave my spells in my hand for you to fucking get rid of it. Fuck no. And then I'll just do that. So you want to know what it is? Against a real smart person that would get around this card too easily and make it a waste of a
slot.
That's the best way I can describe it, a waste of a slot. So I'm booting it for that reason.
And I'm booting it because I still don't know why you would have 3 cards. Like, why would you want that? The only deck that would be good in are decks where it's like if you have no cards in your hand, this happens and this happens, which I think a lot of decks like that are nerfed already, right?
Yeah, like Infernities.
Fables, don't they have effects like that?
Yeah, but Fables were never nerfed. They suck.
But yeah.
But let's get into the next card. the card you want to talk about. Drifting Spirit of Winter Blossoms. Let's get into her effect.
She is a level 3 Dark Zombie Tuner effect monster with 0 attack, but 1800 defense. The effect can only be used once per turn, and during either player's turn, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can discard this card, reveal 1 card from your extra deck, then check your opponent's extra deck, and if there is a card/cards with the same name, banish all cards with that name in your opponent's extra deck.
Now, the one thing is, the thing I'm not crazy about is that I have to wait for my opponent to have more cards than me. The reason why I'm not crazy about that is if I'm facing someone and they already have more of a dominant board, they're probably going to start overlaying and playing the fucking cards that I have to fucking deal with later on anyway.
Yeah.
But I will give it this card. It's not great in the main deck, but it's an amazing, amazing side deck card. Because if you have extra slots in your extra... If you have like extra slots in your extra deck, you could literally just be like, all right, I'm going to toss this. I'm going to like, because you see, you know what this card would be for me? Like, I'd be like, oh, I hate Shaddolls. I hate Shaddolls. Oh,
don't you just throw Winda.
Yeah, throw Winda and fucking Annoyed Tillus and Construct back in the day and be like, oh, suck my dick, bitch. But
well, that's the fucked up thing though. Like, it's like if you play 3 of her, and you put 1 of each card that of something. If someone plays more than 1 and you just use her once, you get rid of that card that you're not even going to use, and then you just banish all those cards from your opponent's
Well, I'm going to
deck.
state this right now. I'm tooting her. I'm tooting her not because of her main deck potential, but due to her side decking potential. Her side decking potential, being able to take out shit like Burning Abyss and mirror matches in general so easily, because it's just obnoxious. Because I'm trying to think of, because right now I'm playing DDDs, and if you take away King Arc from me and reveal it, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna win? Well, because I kind of need that card to get off my plays.
She also has decent defense points.
I like how they gave her a tuner.
Yeah, that's another thing. She's a tuner.
They gave her that in a way, and you can't ignore the fact that she's a zombie, that she could also be used with Mizuki, Crush card.
Exactly.
She has a lot of potential, in my opinion. I think she's good, but I say I'll toot her. But
I toot her too.
You toot
I
her?
definitely.
I mean, for different reasons, or
I mean, I like the fact that she can, because I feel like a lot of tuners don't really have high attack and defense points.
Another little thing that I think of a good combo with this card, I can imagine your opponent has more advantage. You dump this bitch, and then while she's in the graveyard, if you're playing like a zombie-based deck, you then use Mizuki, bring her back, synchro with her, and then you get a good play.
You synchro for that card that their extra deck card would have destroyed, but you got rid of it with her.
Well, that's it. Well, like I said before, that's good in the mirror match.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like there are a lot of cards that people just use. Like, when you look at certain... Like, if you throw into... If you couldn't waste 5 slots in your extra deck, or 3 slots, and put 3 of her in... I'm not saying play her at 3. I'm just saying... With 3 cards that you don't like, you just put them in your extra deck. Every time you get her, you dump her to the grave, and you reveal Cyber Dragon Infinity or whatever his name is, and then you just reveal all these cards.
It's a good way to get rid of Cyber Dragon Infinity. I agree with you.
But you just reveal a bunch of cards that are a pain in the neck, just in case your opponent has them. Yeah. And if they don't, then you did waste a slot. But if they do, you saved your ass from them somehow.
You want to know something? Because the new Monarch support that's coming, the field spell cuts off your opponent's extra deck completely. But that's a reason why a deck like Monarchs is topping in the OCG. It's because when you hinder your opponent's capabilities in plays, like Vanity's Emptiness, stuff like that dramatically can make a person lose. Because because a lot of the times it's like, there are cards, like in the main deck, like I want to use DDDs as a good example. I have all these contracts that give me all this advantage, yes, but it's my build-up. And if you take away what I lead to, I'm stuck in this little empty spot where I have like Leo and my king on the field, and I really don't have much that I could do that much potential with because you took away my extra deck. And like I said before, I think she's really good. I think Konami nailed her perfectly, and I could see her honestly being a beautiful secret that so many people would actually need in an extra. But that's my opinion.
You think she's going to be a secret?
I think she would make a really beautiful secret.
She would look like... I think she kind of looked like a super.
Well, she's a super in the OCG, I believe.
Oh.
But the OCG and the TCG have different rarities.
Yeah. She looks like she'd be a nice super.
But the one thing I wanted to say, hold on. But the one thing I just wanted to say also is, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video because it's always greatly appreciated. If you have any cards that are being released or have been announced anytime soon, leave them in the comment section below. If any of them get, well, you know, asked for, me and Yama will talk about them. We'll do another 2 cards next Sunday, and we'll toot and boot them for our personal reasons. Yet again, these are just our opinions in the game and what we think is good against
We're
the
not
bad.
saying that this is definitely a good card or definitely a bad card because we don't know everything. You might know something we don't, and we'd love for you to tell us.
But especially like for me and my knowledge, I've been playing the game for 15 years. Like, I could spot a good card from a bad card, and like when a new set comes out in Yu-Gi-Oh, some just don't last the test of time, and I only really want to toot cards that will dramatically impact the game, and if they don't do that, they're not really worth it, because I view things like very black or white, not really in between, because the in between cards tend to be the shitty cards as well. It's either they're great or they're bad, and you have to pick between the two. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video. If you like the video, you will make my day. I love seeing how much the Toot and Boot segment could get in the like department. You guys did amazing when it came to the 6 Pay the Pain challenge. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to do that on, I'm pretty sure, Saturday or Friday or whatever. But like overall, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The channel's been doing great. Don't forget to stay tuned for more videos between me, Kisame Unlimited, Yamarame, and Spidey, and we will just keep entertaining you with more and more content. I hope you guys have a great day, and that's
closing. Have a great day. Bye.